If you're an entrepreneur, if you're an SME owner, this is your video. We sat down with an SME owner who's also in the digital marketing space, Karabo of Vibe Digital, and we talked everything as it relates to small business owners. So what's up, everybody? My name is Mpomotoro. Welcome to Deep Dive. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a like, comment below on your biggest takeaway, and definitely subscribe to the channel because you'll get all content, business, personal finance, and personal development. So these are the core lessons that we learned, or that I learned from my conversation with Karabo. Coming in on number one, we talked about cash flow. Now, cash flow is something that we as SME owners struggle with. This is something that we struggle with so much as SME owners. We struggle with cash flow a lot of the times because of late payments. There's something that we talked about. And basically, we talked about how a lot of the times big corporates, a lot of the times even our own customers pay us late and then they give us cash flow problems because already we are small business owners. We don't have a lot of money coming in. So every single customer is important. Every single paycheck is important. And when we don't get these paychecks on time, they cause cash flow problems for us. So on the video, because I don't want to reveal everything here, you just gotta go watch it. Karabo broke down some of the strategies we could use to combat the cash flow problems as business owners. And then number two, we talked about balance. Basically on the issue of balance, we're talking about how we balance all aspects of our lives. I'm poor, I'm a brother, I could be in a relationship with I could be having a girlfriend. I don't know why that's funny. But every one of us has different aspects of our life that need our attention, that need our time. And there has to be a way that we find harmony. I actually like to call it harmony more than balance, because balance is really something that is difficult to find because you won't give everything the same amount of attention. But harmony is one where you will find your sweet recipe, or your sweet recipe where you can add a bit of this, add a bit of that, and get some harmony in with your life. So we talked about that, especially as it relates to giving ourselves rest, giving ourselves time for recreation, giving ourselves time to be with our families, giving ourselves time to be with our friends, and being able to run a successful enterprise. This is something that we need to take cognizance of. So we talked about that also on the episode, and he broke down some amazing strategies also that I think we should get into. And then number three, we talked about dating. Dating an entrepreneur is something it's an extreme sport, basically. Dating an entrepreneur, it's not something that you can just wake up and say, hey man, I'm going to date an entrepreneur, because dating an entrepreneur, it's a job on its own. You can go days of not having proper communication. The entrepreneur can go days without being able to pay rent. Sometimes you as the boyfriend or girlfriend of the entrepreneur, sometimes you have to chip in with your own money and know that they will be able to pay you back. And even the support that's just needed when you're dating an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs need a lot of support because already entrepreneurship is a hard journey. It's a hard path and it's so undefined, and there's a lot that goes on. Not that I'm saying other careers are easier. It's easier to date other people from other careers, but you guys get the point. Dating an entrepreneur is difficult. It's the Olympics, to be honest. So we talked about that and the nuances of being able to find time for relationships, because also that's something that I think I struggle with. I go all in when I do whatever I do. So we talked about those conversations, and I really think, as I spoke before when this video began, there's going to be a lot of relatability to you guys that are SME owners, that are entrepreneurs. And then the last point that really stood out for me was being an employer. We talked about being an employer because when you start a business, you're usually starting this thing alone or sometimes with one partner, and you guys are both sharing the risk. You guys are both moving together, and you're learning as you go. And usually you are not taught how to become an employer. You just become an employer when now you have work and you now need to have a team. You need to put people in place, and you need to have systems in place where you have people now that are under you, and no one teaches you how to become an employer. And it's not an easy task. You're dealing with people, you're dealing with different people who have different emotions, different backgrounds. You have to find harmony of dealing with each and every one of them, each and every different personality types. You're dealing with cash flow problems, you're dealing with suppliers, you're dealing with all these other things that come into play just being an employer. So being an employer is at least something that we talked about. We talked about our various struggles, your struggles, my struggles. There's no I've arrived moment when you become an employer. You know, the problems just change essentially, but you get to learn in the proven ways that there are best practices that you can glean off of people that have gone ahead of us, who have employed many other people, and we can learn how to deal with people. But it is a fulfilling job. It's not something to complain about. It's just that it is not easy because there's really not a manual out there that will teach you how to become an employer. You're just thrown into the deep end and you just gotta figure this out. So these are some of the conversations that I had with Karabo. I hope you guys enjoyed my short takes on it. And if you haven't liked the video, make sure to like the video. I've already watched it up to this point, so definitely like the video and comment below on your biggest takeaways. Already by this time that this video is out, that video is out, so you can check it out. It will be in the description below. Definitely subscribe to our channel. It helps us reach newer audiences. It helps us know that you are enjoying our content, and let me know if you guys actually enjoy me reviewing these videos like this. I think for some of you that don't have time, this is something that is good for you guys. And don't forget about the live recordings that we have of the deep dive for you to come and be part of the conversation, because we shoot, then we have breaks where we talk about, we really go deep, raw, and filtered into the conversations of entrepreneurship. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, but without further ado, we'll meet on the very next video. Thank you guys for watching.